everyone, I'm super excited for my video today, so thank you for watching. I am going to be doing a book review of one of my favorite series, and I'm going to obviously start with the first book. This series is called Percy Jackson the Olympians, and the first book is A Lightning Thief. So if you're excited as me, just continue watching. I can't wait. So today I am doing a book review, like I said, on one of my favorite series. It is the Percy Jackson the Olympians series, and the first book is The Lightning Thief. I cannot pronounce the author's name. I've tried. I've watched videos on other people trying to pronounce his name. I think how you say it is Rick Riordan. I cannot say his last name. We're just going to call him Rick, Pretty Ricky, whatever. But he is amazing. And I did a little bit of background, and he used to be a teacher, and he created this series kind of as like a story for his son, who was a reluctant reader because he has ADHD and dyslexia, and that's kind of how he based his characters in this book too. So I'm super excited to talk about it. This book is the first book in a 5-part book series about Greek gods and Greek mythology. It's set in modern times and follows demigods, and a demigod is a son or daughter that has one mortal parent and one parent that is a Greek god or goddess. This book follows Percy Jackson, who is an ADHD, dyslexic 12-year-old 6th grader who lives with his mother and his awful stepfather. He discovers that his teacher is a kindly one, also referred to as a fury or a monster that serves Hades. And then after that whole situation gets resolved, we then follow him to Camp Half-Blood, which is a camp that aids demigods and helps them learn about their heritage and train so they can go on quests. Upon arriving to camp, Percy discovers that he is a demigod and that he's a son of one of the big three. So the big three is Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. He is believed to have stolen Zeus's lightning bolt, which explains why people and monsters are after him. So Percy has to go on a quest to clear his name and prevent a war of the gods. While on this quest with his two friends, Annabeth and Grover, he travels across the country to get to the underworld. He is determined to find the lightning bolt and to figure out what happened to his mom. But the worst part about this whole situation is he has 10 days to return the lightning bolt. And there's a reason why behind that, but I'm not going to tell you. So one of my favorite chapters is chapter 11. And the name of that chapter is We Visit the Garden Gnome Emporium. I love this chapter because we are introduced to one of my favorite monsters. This monster is cunning and unapologetically fierce. Although my favorite monster was Slade, I loved every bit of the chapter. I thought the background of this monster was so cute and clever. I also kind of like how the chapter correlates with my fear of wax figures. Shout out to House of Wax for giving me an irrational fear of wax figures, because I want to go to a wax figure museum, but I can't. This chapter definitely goes hand in hand with that. And although I really like chapter 11, I loved chapter 16. Chapter 16 is titled We Take a Zebra to Vegas. I think the concept of this chapter is absolutely amazing. The whole time I was reading it, all I could think of was how creative and genius it was. I've been to Vegas, and it is truly insane how easy you can lose track of time. And I think that the hotels and the casinos definitely play a big part in it. Vegas really taps into the senses with all of the smells of the delicious food coming from the buffet, all the pretty flashing lights that's all over the casino for the game, and the slot machines. Your favorite songs playing. You think it's 10 o'clock and then bam, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, well, I might as well not go to sleep now, because in my time zone it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I might as well stay up and then just get a quick nap and then blow it out of proportion, and then you're staying up for like a week straight because you don't want to go to sleep. But the reason why I love Percy Jackson is because you're learning about mythology with him. I love the relationship that Percy has with his mother. I adore all of the friendships that he develops. It's a series that not only kids will enjoy, but adults will enjoy as well. I'm going to keep this review short because I don't want to give too much spoilers. I want to give people the time to be able to read this book. If you have read this book, please leave a comment below. Tell me what your favorite chapter is. Tell me what you love about this book. If you haven't read this book, please read this book. Please read the whole series. It's absolutely amazing. I adore Greek mythology, and I think his writing style is really easy. It's fun, it's light, you can enjoy everything about it. And the thing is, this book, the next book in this series, they're both really great books individually, but they provide stepping stones for the rest of the series. And if you think that this book's a little slow, then you should read the next book, and then it builds and it builds. And then by the time you're at the end of this series, you're like, oh my gosh. I guarantee when you read the series, you are going to cry. You're going to laugh out loud. You're going to be angry. Like, this series gives you so many different emotions. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about this book, talk about why I love it. You absolutely have to read it. You have to read the series. I am going to link the individual book that I'm reading, which is this one, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And then I am also going to link the book series. And these are super, super easy books to read. They're super quick. Some of these books are a little long if you're not used to reading all the time. But the books that I have are big print. This book is 375 pages long. I guarantee if you buy this, you can read it in a day. The print is huge. There is no reason not to read this book or this series. It's absolutely magical. You can't not like it. You really can't. I guarantee after the 4th book, you're like, wow. And then the 5th book, you're like, oh my gosh. And the best part is this series just continues and continues and continues. He also has another book series that ties in with the characters of this book series. And then he has another series that ties in some of the characters as well. There's literally no reason for you not to try it. And if you try it and you don't like it, well, you're probably wrong. But at least you tried. I mean, it's such a good series. You can't not like it. Thank you so much for listening to me rant about this book. If you have read this book, please comment below what your favorite character is. Comment what your favorite chapter is, what inspired you in this book. If you have something that correlates with this book, like the Wax Museum with me, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a notification for whenever I upload my next video, hit that bell.